welcome to Inspiring Inkin, Craft and Chat. I'm Amanda Fowler. Today is Tuesday the 18th of August, I think. If you're here, thank you very much for joining me today. Please do leave a comment in the comments box so I know you're here. I'm just going to check on my iPad to see if I'm live in the right place, which is always a good thing. It looks like I am. Ooh, with volume. We don't need the volume. Fantastic. So Maureen's here, Claire's here, and Joanne's here at the moment. Welcome. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Good afternoon, Roz. She's saying good afternoon to everybody. And my mum's here. And brilliant. And Susan's here. Fantastic. So how are we today? I don't know what the weather's doing today. It's such a British thing, isn't it? Let's talk about the weather. It's because it's so entertaining, the weather. Yeah, it's blowing a bit of a hoolie at the moment and the sun keeps coming out. Yeah, it's all a bit strange, but I got my jeans back on, so it must be a bit chillier than it has been for a while. Oh, lots of people are here, so let's have a look. Michelle's here, Chris is here, Carol's here, Jen's here, Kim's here. Hi Kim. Maureen's here, Angela's here as well. Brilliant. Okay, so tell me what you've been doing. What have you been up to in the week since I have spoken to you last? I've got my peppermint tea. I'll slurp my tea while you tell me all the things. Tell me what you've been creating, or gardening, or going out and about. Have you been out into that big scary wide world out there? We have. Yeah, we've been out on an adventure, so I'll tell you about that in a second. Let's have a look. Anne's here. Joanne's saying that the sun keeps coming in and out and dark clouds. Yeah, lots of dark clouds. Actually rained so much last night that it woke me up, which is good because the garden needs the rain. So Angela's melting. So that's the middle of the country, Angela. Too hot up there for you. And Chris is saying, yeah, gusty wind in Newbury as well. And Julia's here as well. Hello, hello. Oh, Belinda's, I don't know where you sneaked in there, Belinda, but you've appeared kind of halfway up my comments. Hello. And Scylla, nice to see you too. Right. Okay, so Brian and I have been doing the patio. It's nearly finished, which is really exciting. So we've got one more vegetable bed to do and a slab of concrete to put down, and then it'll all be done. So we are really, really close to the end now, but we actually have a patio, so that's really exciting. And then, so that was mainly on Sunday. Oh dear, the voice is going, that's not good. I'm going to be live twice today, so losing my voice is not a good plan. And then on Sunday, we went to go and buy a new mattress, and we've been talking about this for forever. And it's kind of like, do you just get the same one as you had before, or you know that you actually want a better mattress really, so you have to go and try them out, and how to do that in a COVID secure way. So, so it was an adventure. So we ended up, for those of you that are local, we ended up at Bradbeer's over at Hedge End, and they were amazing. And yeah, we've bought a Hypnos mattress, which I'm really excited about. Really comfortable, really lovely. 9-week delivery though, because they're UK made and obviously they're backed up. But Bradbeer's awesome service, and they price match. So long as you can direct them to a website, they will price match. And I do love to internet shop, I really do. But for things like a mattress where I need a real shop to go and lie on it, we were really thrilled to be able to take our business there, and they price matched, so that was awesome. And so if you need a mattress, this is how it kind of worked. We were all wearing masks, and they had like a big roll of kitchen roll. I guess it's kind of like the doctor's stuff, you know, the big wide roll, and you lay it on the bed. And then when you got up from the bed, you put it in the bin. So it was, it worked really, really, really well. So I was very excited about that. So I've been in the outside world. Yes, scary place outside. So let's have a look. Let's see what everyone else has been doing. Joanne's been to the coast to visit her parents with her new fur baby. What kind of fur baby have you got, Joanne? And I'm pleased you're here. I'm going to be talking about red rubber stamps and the question that you put in the email to me yesterday or the day before. Ooh, tea is a good idea. Oh, Kim's drinking spearmint tea. I haven't had spearmint tea. Does that taste a bit like toothpaste? I don't know. Spearmint or chewing gum? I don't know. You have to bring some. Or try it. Oh, Chris saying now it's heavy rain. Angela's pleased it's a bit cooler. It was too hot last week for Roz. And Marion saying Perth in Western Australia is chilly. So you've definitely got your socks on. Oh, Kerry! She's making damson ice cream. Oh, that is my favourite ice cream ever. Damsons are my favourite fruit. And Kerry, I know you had a glut, and I think we've got like 20 damsons on our tree. It's really sad. But there is about 10 kilos in the freezer. So I might have to go and make some damson stuff. Ooh, Belinda has had a weekend away with her sister. She's bubbled with her sister, honestly. Well, all these terms that we've got. Bubbling and socially distanced and COVID secure. It's like a whole new language. Oh, I'm really pleased that you've managed to get away. Sarah Jane, hello. Cher, hello. Yeah, all good here, Julia. Julia. Whoa. Sarah's waiting for a power cut. What, on purpose? Or have you got thunderstorms and things again, Sarah? Oh, Joanne's got a new greyhound. That's lovely. Pam's back at work and it's all a bit scary. Yeah. There's a lot of people back at work. So yeah, lots and lots of people back at work. Lots of kids all with all their exams and stuff and sorting that out. And lots of people back to work. Yeah, I haven't stopped. We actually worked it out the other day. Yeah, haven't actually had a break since Christmas. So there's no wonder that sometimes it's a little bit bit exhausted. But I am really thrilled with the way everything's going, and so many of you have joined me on this kind of roller coaster crazy journey, going completely from an in-person business to an online business. And I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's messaged and called and emailed about my in-person classes. I emailed everybody last week to let everyone know that I'm not going to be starting them again until next year, and it's kind of what format they're going to take and things I don't know, and we'll see how things progress. But I needed to make that decision so that I can make plans for the rest of the year, really. And everyone has been amazing, so I am really truly grateful for your support. Okay, so let's have a look. Germany is in the house. Guten Tag. Guten Tag, Yvonne. Maybe that's right. Hope that's right. Oh, okay. So Sarah says they're trimming the trees around her house, so she's expecting them to trim the power lines. That wouldn't be very good. I hope they've got like welly boots on so they don't get a shock. Hi Sandra, Perth in Western Australia, tucked up in bed, keeping warm. I think that's very wise. Very wise. Sheridan has spent a few days with her friend who came up from Pembroke. First time we've seen each other since December. And Anne's saying, sorry I haven't had a break, but she's glad I've supported you all. Yeah, I'm not moaning, Anne. No, not really. I'm just kind of explaining why sometimes things are a little bit chaotic. But I am going to be taking a bit of time off each month now. So it'll just be kind of, you know, Fridays and Mondays. So I kind of extend the weekend. We've got a Stamping Up leadership event the bank holiday weekend, so not this weekend coming, next weekend. And we were supposed to be in New Orleans. That would have been amazing. But we're doing it virtually, obviously. And I'm putting myself on USA time. So, yeah. I've got classes and training and stuff that's going on till 3 o'clock in the morning. So I should be sleeping in late those days, and yeah, and kind of working on US time. So that is going to be entertaining. So the Tuesday after that, I might be a bit bleary-eyed when I'm coming to chat to you. I might be drinking coffee, not peppermint tea. Oh, Sarah says they're going to turn the power off first. Well, that's probably quite sensible. And hi, Claire. Awesome. Okay, so what have I got to tell you today? Not a lot, actually. Stamping Up, catalogues are running, everything's running fine. If you placed an order in July and you got bonus codes, please make sure you spend them before the end of August. I do not want you missing out on your voucher codes. Okay, if you've put them in a safe place and you can't find them, let me know, and I will speak to Stamping Up and see if they can magic something for you. But please do use them. I don't want you to miss out, because they finish. They won't be valid after the end of August, so you need to make sure that you've used them. I have a couple of cards I'm going to show you. The first thing though is I have been asking for questions for Craft and Chat, and they're coming through, but they're only trickling. So if you've got a question, a burning question, please email it to me or send me a message. And Anne wanted to know about setting up your red rubber stamps and what I do with the waste rubber and all those kinds of things. So what I'm actually going to do is, I've got a stamp set here. I am going to show you what I do and how I set them up. So I'm going to do that, and then I've got a technique to show you. And we're going to do that. Now, I'm conscious that outside there is quite a lot of chainsawing going on. Can you tell me if it's distracting from the sound? Because I'll close the window. I am talking quite loudly, so I am hopeful that you can hear me clearly, but just let me know if that sound is detracting. So Debbie's here, Janet's here, and Linda's here as well. Okay, let me have a slurp of the tea. Right, Kerry's saying that she can't hear it. That's good. Fab. Thanks, Claire. And Sarah can't hear it either. Awesome. Okay, so let me turn the camera around. Just looking at my desk and thinking, ah, yeah, good. Okay, let's just cover you over and turn you around. Right, so if you haven't seen a craft and chat before, I move the camera around and I cover over the camera basically so that you don't get seasick. Well, that's my master plan anyway. So let's see what you can see. Should be able to see the stamp set. We've got iPad somewhere that I can see it, and we've got stuff everywhere, look. Okay, right, so that's a bit tidier. Okay, so okay, so Anne's question was about red rubber stamps and how I set them up in my case. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to show you really quickly how I do this. And actually I'm really excited about this stamp set. It's called Framed for You, and I'm going to be using this quite a lot because it's a really cool set. So the first thing that I do is I pop out everything. So I pop out all the stamps. Now all the stamps are die cut, and they just pop out. So I just do this to them. Okay, so that's what I do. Now, you then have this piece of red rubber. Now, to be honest, I tend to throw this away. And I know that's going to shock quite a few of you. You can chop it up and use it to make individual stamps and different shapes and things. That works really well. But actually, I don't use it for anything. Right, I am actually going to shut the window because it's getting louder. Hang on. There we go. I think that was 3 chainsaws. Okay, so I don't actually use this at all. And then with these stamps, what I do is each one of them has a paper backing, and we want to get the sticky label. So you get a sheet like this, and the sticky labels, you just peel off the covering. Ooh. You then peel off this backing, and then you put this down on the top, like so. Now, you only get one shot at this, so make sure you are positioned and it's in the right place. and then lift it up. Okay, so then that's on there, and I just pop that onto the inside for now. And then what I do is I do all of them, yeah? So let me just do another one. Let me just do that one. So let's just get that one. Whoa. Okay. And then I've just got to make sure that that flower is going the right way. There we go. Okay, so if you can imagine, I've done all of these. Obviously I haven't, but if you can imagine I have. When I've finished, I peel off this backing piece. And then I put this down here on the inside. And then each one of these has got its own little slot to sit in. And then I'll be able to tell when one is missing. So let me show you a completed one. So this is Butterfly Wishes, and I can see on the back, I can see them all, and it's done like that. So, and this was your question. Have I answered your question, or have I left you with more questions? And a question for everyone else. Was that helpful? Is that a good thing? So this piece of rubber, this is actually really cool. That would make a nice stamp. So let me know, please, and then I can answer the questions. Right, let's just see. More tea. Okay. Right. What do I have to show you now? Right. So, another question that I was asked the other day was, I really like that paper that you always stamp on. I wish we could buy it. So that's this. This is Stampin' Up! Grid paper, and it is, how big is it? 16 inches by 10. Yeah, 16 inches by 10, and it's double-sided, so it's got centimetres on one side and inches on the other. I use it all the time for stamping. It just protects my work surface. You can buy it, and that was the important thing for you to know. So it's $11.75 for 100 sheets of this big size. But I am more and more often using the tiddly size, which is this one. So this is small grid paper, and it's 50 sheets, and it's £6. And so it's got inches grid on one side and centimetre grid on the other side. And the reason that I tend to use this is for when I am stamping on my foam mat with photopolymer stamps, because then I can kind of see where the edges of the mat is, whereas sometimes when I put the mat underneath my big grid paper I can't see it. So it does help. Obviously you can do what I used to do, which was cut my big sheets of grid paper up. Of course you can do that. but it's just easy to have this little one. Okay, so Anne is saying, I've answered all her questions good, and Angela and Roz both think that's a great idea. Hurrah. That's good. I just find then I know when something's missing, because obviously that's kind of frustrating when you have to count all the stamps, whereas you can just look at it and go, oh yes, I'm missing a stamp. Okay, so the pages for the grid paper, 163 and 164 in the annual catalogue. Okay, so what I am, throwing it on the floor. What I'm doing today is using snowflake wishes. Now, tonight, over in the Inspiring Inkin Crafting Corner, which is my Facebook group, I am going to be doing August Craft Along. And the people who have joined in with the August Craft Along will have had in the post a kit of products all based around this Snowflake Wishes product suite. And we are going to be crafting using that. So if you haven't joined us over in that group, please do so. You can just find it by going into Facebook and typing in Inspiring Inkin Crafting Corner. There are a couple of questions that you need to answer so that you can get access to the group. If you don't answer them, I will assume you are a spam bot and I won't let you in. So you need to make sure you answer the questions. What else? Yeah, I'll be live there at 7:30. I know lots of the people who are here right now are going to be joining me later, which is going to be fab. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to have some fun tonight. Hi Nicola, nice to see you. So, Snowflake Wishes, fab stamp set. The images here on the front are only at 70%. So, for instance, this stamp is actually that one. And it's quite astonishing how much bigger it is. So we are going to use this and we are going to play with some heat embossing today. She says, we will see, because half of it has just fallen on the floor. Right, okay. So I am using the Stamp and Pierce mat because I'm using a photopolymer stamp and I have my Versamark ink pad. Do not be worried about the state of my Versamark ink pad. It's actually okay. It looks far worse than it actually is. I've actually got two here. Oh, hang on. This one is actually worse because it's actually got ink in it. But maybe I should buy a new one. But it'll only end up like this. Versamark is a magnet for anything, any ink, any glitter, anything. Right, so I'm going to stamp on this Whisper White card and you are not going to be able to see anything because it's clear ink, which is really funny on camera because you can't see it. And actually, I can't see it very much either. Hang on. I'm going to tilt it a little bit. See if I can see where there's some gaps. Roz is saying that her Versamark ink pad is worse than mine. It's funny. Versamark. The thing is, when you get one, I don't even think I've got a clean bit to show you. It's like this really soft, creamy colour. And it just, honestly, I don't know what it is. It just gathers dust and everything. And also, if you've got a tiny scrap of anything on your stamps, it cleans them off. So it's actually a really good cleaner. Okay, so I am putting clear embossing onto this. Clear embossing powder. I get asked often about my embossing powders. I keep them in a big lock and lock tub and with a spoon, just because I hate the whole when I'm using embossing powders, I hate having to put it on a piece of paper and tip it back into the pot and all of that. So really important tip whenever you're heat embossing is to have a dry brush, preferably one without fluff on the end, just to dust off any little extra bits that you don't want there. And the other question I always get asked is, why have I got a tub of embossing powder in here? And the answer to that question is because very early on in my Stampin' Up! Career, I did a party and everybody was heat embossing, and I dropped the tub of embossing powder, and it meant that it went all over the floor and we couldn't do the project. So yeah, I learned. So I don't know how well you would be able to see that. If I bring it up close, can you see? I hope you can. So this is going to be a bit noisy now. Okay, hang on. You're tilted. Ooh, that was a bit scary. You're tilted. Let's try that again. I'm going to move the heat gun. Okay. Sorry, did you go on a roller coaster ride there? Okay, so I'm just going to, oh hang on, I'll switch this off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the heat gun to melt the powder. And with the heat gun, make sure you keep it a couple of inches above and don't waft it round like a hairdryer. Hold it in one place and wait for it to melt. And then move it. And probably all you're gonna see is the powder disappearing. Maybe. Okay, I am hoping that the camera's going to pick this up now. So basically all the clear embossing powder has melted. Move that out of the way. And I am going to get my ink pads. So I have got Night of Navy, Seaside Spray and Balmy Blue, and I've got sponge daubers for each colour. Right, Anne was asking, oh, a magnet for glitter. Right, so sorry Anne, I don't mean that, now what do I mean? What I mean is it's sticky. So if you've got glitter in the air or on the table, it will just be attracted to the Versamark. You can use Versamark with glitter embossing powders and that kind of thing, but you need the stickiness of the embossing powder. I'm sorry, that wasn't clear. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to use the palest colour and we are going to go over these snowflakes. And I'm just going to do some random patches and you're going to see these snowflakes start popping out. And this technique, it's called Emboss Resist. So basically where you've got your embossing powder that you've heated, it is going to resist the colour and you are going to be able to see the lovely snowflakes coming through. And look, I've got a mouse. So I'm just going to go over there like that. Use that one as well. And what you do want to do is just go over all of the areas where you're going from one colour to another. So you can see like here and here we've got the darker colour. If you go over with the paler colour, just to blend, 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 and it will really help. Now what I have realised is I don't have any tissue, so just chat amongst yourselves for a second while I go and get some. Right, so you can use kitchen roll. I've just got some tissue here, and what you then want to do is you're going to buff over the top. And what this is doing, you can see it's actually lifting any extra ink from those areas. Right, I'm just going to put a bit more here, soften it out a little bit. Okay, so what am I going to use? I'm going to use that one. Card blank here with no score line, so let's do that. And this, and we're going to get it layered up, and I'll get the sentiment on. Just deciding actually where I'm going to put my sentiment. So this, I love this sentiment. I think eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Yeah, we'll go that way actually. It says snowflake wishes for a Merry Christmas. I don't actually know what that means at all. But probably doesn't actually mean anything. Yeah, okay. So let's just trim that down. I'm trimming it at 1 inch, and then actually I'll fiddle with that in a second. I'm just going to pop that there. Right. So I've just made a mark with my thumbnail where it needs to come off. And then I'm just going to cut into the middle and then cut from each end like so. There we go. And then I'm just going to give it a little curve and just put a little bit of Tombow here. So I'm just going to cover over a little bit there that I think needs covering. Okay, so we've got a few questions. Let's have a look. Debbie, yes, it's Whisper White card. Yeah, just ordinary Whisper White. And that needs to go there, I think. Yeah. Okay, let's just pop that down. Janet, lovely to see you here. And Sue's here as well, and Sharon's here. Thank you very much for joining me today. And then this one is going to go down like so. And then let's just get some snowflakes on the inside. And Daphne's here as well. Lovely to see you all. Pull up a chair, grab a cuppa and tell us what you've been up to. Okay, so that is card number 1, using Emboss Resist. So this works, and I've used clear embossing powder. Okay, now basically what the clear embossing powder is doing is making the white show through, and it's making it shiny. You can use white embossing powder if you want to, but I don't tend to, because the white embossing powder and the white cardstock, they're not always the same white, if that makes sense. And I like the fact that it's just like the glossiness of our Whisper White cardstock when I put this over the top. So yeah, so that's really cool. Now this technique works on patterned paper as well. So I am going to just tidy up my ink pads, and those of you that are joining us at the craft along tonight, you will see one of my cards, the first card that I'm going to show you tonight. It fell on an open ink pad yesterday. I don't know why those cards were still on my table. I don't know. And I was stamping something else, and the darn thing fell over, which is really not good. And I thought, shall I redo it? And I thought, no, I'm not going to redo it. I'm going to show you what happens when you don't close your ink pads. This is one of the things that I say. I make mistakes so you don't have to make mistakes. Okay, so I need another piece of grid paper. And the piece of paper that's on the floor. Whoa, okay. So, this, those of you that have got the Craft Along kit, you will have this paper in your pack. And it's really beautiful snowflakes. But we are actually going to be using this side, and we are not making a Christmas card. That's what the butterflies were here for. So let us get these butterflies. So I'm going to use this one. And this one. use my Versamark again and ink this up. And we are going to put butterflies all over this paper. And yet again, you're not going to be able to see any of this probably. We'll be putting lots and lots of little butterflies down. Let me just tilt this up so I can see where they are. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to emboss it, and then I'm going to see if I can add some more butterflies, because I actually can't see very well on this at all. So this is the easiest way to do it. So now hopefully you can see that I can see it's, I can see where the gaps are now. Alright, let's try that again. You can obviously use a spoon, but I just shake it all over. There we go. Right, so what did I do with the silicone mat? Honestly, things can't disappear because there's nowhere for them to go, but they hide. They do hide. Okay. So let's pop that down. Okay, it's going to get noisy again. So in actual fact, that really looks quite nice. I hope you can see that. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm taking a darker colour. So in this case, I know that the colours in this paper are Highland Heather and Pool Party. And what I'm actually doing is I am using Gorgeous Grape. So I'm actually taking the darker purple and using that colour. And what we're going to do is we're going to start in the middle, and I am going to go over the whole thing with Gorgeous Grape. And it's actually going to make the background disappear, but it's going to leave the lovely butterflies in their different shades. All over. So let's just keep going. Hi Claire, thank you for joining us today. Now the more contrast that you have, the more striking this will be. So that's why you need to go with a really dark colour. So Early Espresso works really well, Night of Navy. You want something that's going to really deaden the background but lift the colours. Polish this away. And I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that. So you have got Pool Party and Highland Heather butterflies all over. But the colour underneath is the colour of the patterned paper. As with all these things, the tonal effect will make a difference once it's dry. I am just going to go over a little bit more on some of these areas here. Right, so let's just give it more of a polish. And let's go with the butterfly wishes. This is birthday wishes, I think. Ooh, that's a bit wonky. Let's try that again. And again, I'm just going to trim this off with my trimmer. At an inch. To eeny, meeny, miny, mo, trim it off. I'm going to trim this down so we can put it on Pool Party layer. Okay, so just bear with me a second while I just trim this off. And take a sliver off that side. Okay, fab. Right, so we are going to mat and layer that. Let's just do this. So I often get asked about matting and layering. And what do you do if you've got sentiment and you haven't got a punch, or you don't know, it's not going to fit, so, or you haven't got a die, what do you do? So what I do is I trim it. So, and I'm just going to take a sliver off there because we've got a tiny bit of extra ink. So I trim it and I glue it onto a piece of cardstock that has got at least a couple of straight edges. and I pop it down so it's nice and even each side, and then I trim it down like that. And then I have got a sentiment ready to go. Okay, so let's just get all of that glued together. I've got no sparkle up here. This is not good. I'll have to make sure to bring some sparkle with me. I will put some more rhinestones on this actually when I've finished it. So Andrea, lovely to see you. Mandy, lovely to see you too. Let's just get the inside sorted out with some love this set. Just in case this one's passed you by, it's called Butterfly Wishes. It's in the annual catalogue, and the butterfly duet punch that we've got does punch this one out and this one out, but it's got this beautiful branch here which is really lovely, and sort of obviously 4 butterflies on there, but it's really pretty. Okay, so let's pop that on the inside. Let's just see. Oh. I think I have got time to run and get my bling. So just stay there just for a second and I will run down and up the stairs again. I'm back. Okay, I've got lots of gems, and I did actually, I'm not going to put these on the card, but I did want to show you these. These are so cool. They arrived yesterday, yeah. Iridescent pearls. They are so cool. They look like petrol on water. Let me just bring them up a bit closer. See if you can see how awesome they are. Okay, right, so I don't want normal rhinestones. There we go. I knew I had some. So these, what are these? I think those are holiday rhinestones. Let's have a look. Let's have a look in the catalogue. So I don't tell you the wrong name. Yeah, so they're called Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels, and they have pumpkin pie, cherry cobbler, shaded spruce, coastal cabana and night of navy. So although this is pool party and these are coastal cabana, they are going to work beautifully. So I'm going to put that right smack in the middle with a bit of dimensional. that a bit higher there, and then put some dimensionals on. Let's just move a few things away. I'm a little concerned, my screen seems to have frozen. I hope you're not frozen, or I'm not frozen to you as well. So if you could just pop a message on, I would truly appreciate it. We need bling on this card. Let's have a look. Yeah, no good. You can still see me. It's okay. It's just sometimes because I've got my phone which is connected to the internet and my iPad, sometimes it just freezes. But so long as you can still hear me and see me, that's good. Right, I need another one just there. Okay, so we've got a bit of bling. Bling, bling, bling. Okay, so there you go. So that is the second card. Here is the first one. So the technique itself is called Emboss Resist. So basically all you're doing is you're putting embossing powder either over a plain colour cardstock or a patterned paper, and then you're heat setting it and then going over the top with ink. You can do that with a brayer or a sponge roller, or sponge daubers like I've done, or pieces of sponge. Doesn't actually matter how you get the ink over, but you need a lot of coverage, and then remember to use a bit of tissue to polish it off. So there we go. So does anyone have any questions just while I'm kind of tidying this up and slurping the rest of my tea? I hope all of that made sense. Thanks, Roz. Was saying she's loving the cards today, as is Marion. Thank you, and Julia as well. I'm thrilled that you like them. Now, this one with the patterned paper, because the paper was subtle, the colour gradient here is subtle. If you pick a wild, crazy pattern or bright colours, you will have much more contrast than I've got here. And you know those papers that you have in your stash that you're not really sure what to do with? They're the papers that you can use for this technique, because you don't see them in their entirety. You only see little pieces of them. And use stamps that cover fairly well. So the snowflakes, these are quite solid. The butterflies here, you've got a bit of sketching and a few gaps, but don't use something that's like a really fine line art image, because it will just get lost. You want something that's fairly bold. Oh, lots of lovely comments, lots of people enjoying them. Awesome. Right, well, I will love you and leave you to get on with the rest of your day. For quite a number of you, I will see you at 7:30. As a reminder, it's in the Inspiring Inking Crafting Corner group, not here on my page, it's in the group. Everyone is welcome in the Inspiring Inking Crafting Corner. wherever you are in the world, what types of crafts you love. We have a lot of fun in there and share the things that we've made, and it's just a really, really lovely supportive group. And there are lots and lots of different crafts there as well. So I will look forward to seeing you then, and everyone else, I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Okay, till then, I'll see you soon. Goodbye.